Hello students, today we are going to look at the poem The Television, which is written by Rahul Dahel, and it is present in ICSE 10th and 9th syllabus. Rahul Dahel was a British writer. He was a short story writer. He was a great poet also. He was a fighter pilot also. And he had a large fan following of readers. This poem has been written in order to pinpoint the dangers of excessive watching of television and what the effect of watching the television continuously has on the minds of the children has been beautifully depicted. And at the end, also, the poet has suggested the parents that instead of installing television, it would be better that the parents should install the bookshelves in order to help the in order to help the children read the stories and improve their vocabulary, and later on the children would love their parents for giving them such a wonderful gift of reading books. So let's read the poem Television. The most important thing we have learned so far as children are concerned is never, never, never let them near your television set. Or better still, just don't install the idiotic thing at all. Now, in these initial 5 to 6 lines, the poet is trying to give a voice to other people who have already observed what the effect of television is on the children. So he has said that we have learned. So he says that by observing the effect of television on the minds of children, as far as the children's are concerned, it is better not to allow the children to look television or to watch the television for a long time. So in the end, he also says that I would suggest not to install television at all at your homes. In almost every house we have been, we have watched them gaping at the screen. They loll and slop and lounge about and stare until their eyes pop out. He says that whenever we visit the house of many people, we have observed that the children, they sit lazily. They just keep on staring at the television without break, and they just slop. That means their posture also deteriorates because of it. They sit in any style as they want in order to watch at the television. They have no concern with the outside world. They are completely lost into watching the television, and they keep on continuously watching the television in such a way that it seems as if their eyeballs are going to pop out, and they lie on the floor of their houses. In the bracket also he has said, last week in someone's place we saw a dozen eyeballs on the floor. This is actually an exaggeration to tell that how much the children are involved in watching the television, the stuff that is being shown or telecast on the television, that all entire stuff feeds into their mind, and their eyes, they watch the television in such a way as if they are going to just pop out of their sockets, and they will lie on the floor. They sit and stare and stare and sit until they are hypnotized by it, until they are absolutely drunk with all that shocking, ghastly junk. Oh, yes, we know it keeps them still. They don't climb out the window sill. They never fight or kick or punch. They leave you free to cook the lunch and wash the dishes in the sink. But did you ever stop to think, to wonder just exactly what this does to your beloved tot? So the poet says that they are so much hypnotized by watching the television, continuous watching of the television, that all that junk that is being telecast on the television, that keeps on feeding into their mind, and in such a way that they are lost into it completely. There is one advantage of watching the television by the children is that they do not fight with each other. They do not climb into the window sills, and there is a danger of their falling out, or they do not do any such mischief which is a matter of trouble to the parents, due to which the parents are free to do their household works and to cook, as well as to wash the dishes which is present in the sink. So they are free. But the poet here asks the parents, have you ever thought that when you are left free to do your work, what effect the television is giving to your children? What is that main danger which is being caused to your children when they are continuously sitting in front of the television? It rots the sense in the head, it kills imagination dead. This is present in typography in capital letters to exaggerate or to emphasize and show the parents what the effect of television is on them. It rots their sense in the dead means the common sense that the children used to have in this younger age, that all common sense is killed. Even the imagination, the creativity that is present in the mind of the children, all is killed at once. It clogs and clutters up the mind. What is cluttered in the mind? All that junk, all that stuff, the nonsense that is being telecast on the television, that all is feeded into their mind. It makes a child so dull and blind. The child continuously watches the television and is lost into it that he cannot understand what is happening on the television. He just watches and his mind becomes dull, as if his common sense has lost somewhere else. He can make no longer understand a fantasy of fairyland, and the child cannot make the difference between what is a fairyland and what is a real world fantasy that is present in front of him. His brain becomes as soft as cheese. His powers of thinking rust and freeze. He cannot think, he only sees. So this in a way shows that the intelligent, the IQ of the child becomes less and less, more and more as he watches the television. The brain becomes as soft as cheese that means everything that is going into the brain is all nonsense. They do not have their creativity power now. The power of the imagination or the power of thinking, the IQ, all becomes completely numb. So he cannot think anything. He just watches the television and just goes on watching without any common sense what is happening on the television. All right, you'll cry, all right, you'll say, but if we take the set away, what shall we do to entertain our darling children? Please explain. Now here the poet says that the parents would naturally say, okay, if you say to remove the television set, okay, we are going to remove. Then what is the solution after removing the television set? In what way should we entertain our children? Is there any answer? We'll answer this by asking you what use the darling wants to do. How used they keep themselves contented before this monster was invented. Have you forgotten? Don't you know? We'll say it very loud and slow. They used to read, they'd read and read and read and read and then proceed to read some more. Great Scott, gadzooks, one half their lives was reading books. The nursery shelves held books galore. Books cluttered up the nursery floor, and in the bedroom by the bed more books were waiting to be read. So the poet says the answer to your question is, do you remember when this idiotic thing was not discovered? Before that, how the children used to entertain themselves? The only thing they used to do was to read the books. They continuously kept on reading several kinds of books, and everywhere, either in their room, their bedroom, their bedside, the nursery floor, everything was covered with books. And there were several books which were of quite importance to them. It also improved their vocabulary, and they had great interest in reading those books. Such wondrous fine fantastic tales of dragons, gypsies, queens and whales, and treasure isles and distant shores where smugglers rode with muffler roars, and pirates wearing purple pants, and sailing ships and elephants, and cannibals crouching round the pot, stirring away at something hot. So he is giving us some examples. The poet is giving us some examples that the stories which contain elephants, treasure islands, voyages, smugglers, queens, kings, whales, pirates, ships, etc. All such type of stories which were quite interesting to read were the subject topics of the children to read. So he says that the typical stories that the children read were quite interesting, and the kids also used to read the tales about Mr. Todd, squirrels, then Squirrel Nutkin, then Pigling Band, Mrs. Tiggy Winky. All these were written by Beatrix Potter. He was one of the writers of such stories. Then the Potter's books were known for the use of for the stories which were related to animals. So these were the characters which were quite colorful and entertaining for the children. Oh books, what books they used to know, those children living long ago. So please, oh please, we beg, we pray, go throw your TV set away. So here the poet is using words like beg, pray, please. He is requesting the parents that please, I request you to remove the television set from your houses and instead of that install a bookshelf. Then fill the shelves with lots of books, ignoring all the dirty looks, the screams and yells, the bites and kicks, and children hitting you with sticks. He says that initially the children will protest. They will throw tantrums at you people. They will kick you. They will bite you. They will start screaming that what our parents are doing. But ignore all those activities which are done by the children and think about their benefit. So install the bookshelves and keep various types of books for them. Fear not, because we promise you that in about a week or two of having nothing else to do. So he says that don't fear about all these things. In a week or two, the children themselves will have nothing to do except for reading the books. They'll now begin to feel the need of having something to read. Because when they will not have any television or any other thing of entertainment, naturally they will read the books. And once they start, oh boy, you watch the slowly growing joy that fills their hearts. And once they start reading these books, they will gradually have the joy of reading such books. They'll grow so keen they'll wonder what they had never seen in that ridiculous machine. Then, after reading these books, they will just compare the reading of these books with the watching of the television and they will wonder themselves that what stupid thing were we doing when we were watching the television. That was a ridiculous, idiotic machine for them. That nauseating, foul, unclean, repulsive television screen. They would hate that screen of the television. And later, each and every kid will love you more for what you did. And later on, you will find yourself that your children will start loving you for this kind act that you will be doing for their good. So this ends up with the poem. Now let's see the theme as well as the figures of speech. The first theme that is television, which is an idiotic box. Why idiot box has been named has been given a name to television? Because naturally anybody who is going to continuously stare at the television and lose the imagination and the creativity of the mind will look like an idiot themselves. So here also the poet has already emphasized that it makes the mind as soft as cheese, it kills the imagination of the children and it rots their common sense. So in a way, he has considered television to be an idiot box. Death of imagination may. Imagination is a creative faculty which is given to each and every human being and it is mostly well developed in children. Now, if that power of imagination is killed in the children, their creativity naturally goes away and they cannot do whatever they would like to do in life. So the ability of thinking new ideas or creating something unique would go away from them, and this diminishes and the child, he becomes dull in mind and just looks at the things without understanding what the thing is about. So watching too much television naturally will destroy the creativity, the skill, the common sense which is present in a child, and it is most highly developed in a child. So, an importance of reading books also is a third theme, in which the books reading not only makes the child more active in reading It creates his imaginative power and it helps him to improve his creativity as well as the vocabulary increases. And then the style may we have got repetition. Repetition is the purposeful use of words again and again in order to emphasize something, like is never, never, never let. Then they sit and stare and stare and sit. Here also, again and again, stare, stare and sit, sit has been emphasized to show the effect of television on the children. Then they used to read, read, read. Then we have got synecdoche. So it is a figure of speech in which a part is put for whole. Like we say, the younger ones had Beatrix Potter. Beatrix Potter is a writer. Had Beatrix Potter means all the series of the animal related stories was written by Beatrix Potter for children. Then we have got personification. Personification may it kills imagination dead. It seems as if a human being is doing something. So imagination is said to be dead. So it is considered to be a human being. Hyperbole is an exaggeration. Like last week in someone's place, we saw a dozen eyeballs on the floor. Just to exaggerate the thing that if you keep on continuously watching the television, naturally it would seem as if your eyeballs are coming out of the sockets. Typography are the letters which are printed in capital letters to emphasize and to draw the attention of the readers towards what the poet is trying to say. Like it rots the sense in the head, it kills imagination dead. All of this was in capital letters in the poem. It clogs and clutters up the mind, it makes child so dull and blind, and so on. And in critical remarks, we have got it is a didactic poem. That is a poem that teaches us a moral story, and the moral story is not to allow the children to watch television so much excessively. Instead, if you install the bookshelves in the rooms of the children, it would help them grow their imagination, their skill, the common sense would naturally increase. They would be able to differentiate between fantasies and whatever is the real world. So, this poem actually has been written for the good of the children, which shows that if they keep on continuously watching the television, it would be filled with all that junk which is telecast on the television, and that junk will never help them develop in their future. So hope this poem is clear to you all, and if you have understood it, press the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.